Crews are responding to that fire at the beet plant in Wahpeton.
The plant in question is the Mindak Farmers Cooperative at 7525 Red River Road. Authorities were not able to give any more information as all crews are on the scene. Now, we do have a Valley Today crew on their way. Look at this face mask argument that turned into a fist fight. It happened on an Allegiant Air flight from Arizona to Utah over the weekend. A passenger was arguing with the flight attendant over wearing a face mask.
He was only wearing a face shield, which according to Allegiant's policy is not an alternative to a face mask. One witness says another passenger heckled the man, and that's when the fight started. Flight attendants escorted the first passenger off the plane while they were still on the ground in Phoenix. The other passenger was allowed to stay on board. New this morning, a second round of COVID exposure report in a Detroit Lake school in just as many days. The school superintendent says in a Facebook post that state health officials confirmed several cases of coronavirus in adult members of the Roosevelt Elementary School community. Exposure dates were last week from September 28th to October 2nd.
This means no school today at Roosevelt and full distance learning for students and staff starting tomorrow. Close contacts of the confirmed cases have been identified and are under quarantine. So far, there are no confirmed cases among Roosevelt students. The city of Fargo is saying no to mandating a face mask in city limits. That comes as COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the region and nation.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live with more on the close vote to strike down that mandate. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. You know, one of the proposals was a civil penalty while the other was not. And the vote was a 3-2, very close vote with Mayor Tim Mahoney breaking that tiebreaker. And of course, we're going to go ahead and break down that meeting which led to that vote. Mayor Tim Mahoney presented the two proposals last night while reminding everyone that the city of Fargo has a directive and not a mandate. This has been in effect until August, but remaining in effect until November 9th, which is next month. He says the directive is, quote, strong, good advice, end quote. Commissioner Arlette Preston urged the other commissioners to adopt the mandate, pointing out the rising number of deaths in our state and how the commissioners were not practicing social distancing while having the meetings. She also said people in the audience were not spacing out correctly or wearing face masks as well. Once the discussion was over, that 3-2 vote decided to not have a mandate in the area, also letting you know that a commissioner could bring this up later on at another meeting if they wanted to. I am pretty sure that's going to happen because I'm pretty sure this topic is not ending. Also let you know that 3 other commissioners did speak as well. Full details can be found on our web channel.
Brian Sherrod reporting live for us. Thank you for the update.
President Donald Trump is back at the White House this morning after being hospitalized for 3 days with COVID-19. After climbing the South Lawn steps last night, the president then took off his face mask and recorded a video message telling supporters they should not fear the coronavirus. The president's doctors say that he would continue to receive treatment at the White House and was, in their words, quote, not out of the woods yet.
At least 19 people connected to the president have tested positive for COVID-19 in the past week. The latest to be infected include the White House press secretary and 2 of her deputies. First Lady Melania Trump also tested positive last week. In a tweet, Mrs. Trump said she was feeling good and continuing to recover.
6:52 on our Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of that forecast, and it's going to be an extra hold hairspray kind of day out there, Lisa.
Yes, especially as we head into the afternoon and evening when that wind really gets going today. So this morning, it's not so bad. It looks kind of quiet. We've got that sunrise showing through underneath that cloud deck that we have overhead here in Fargo on our First Alert Skycam network. And we're going to see some variable cloudiness, areas of sunshine, and then some clouds passing by from time to time today. But it's the wind that's going to be the big issue. We've got a couple of headlines as a result. A red flag warning that takes effect at noon and lasts through 8 o'clock tonight. And that includes our North Dakota counties, South Dakota counties, and a couple of our counties into Minnesota as well, where we're expecting the wind combined with dry conditions and warm temperatures and humidities that are on the low end. That can all combine for the rapid spread of fire, any burning that's going on. So I want to rethink doing that here today. And in addition, of course, the wind in general, we have a wind advisory for those gusts that could get up to 45 miles miles per hour. We do have some counties in Minnesota included in that at the outside of the red flag warning as well. The wind right now, very light. We're looking at winds that are most cases less than 10 miles per hour out of the southwest. Temperatures are into the 40s in most areas. It's 47 in Fargo and in Grand Forks. A couple of places have dipped into the 30s, upper 30s, and then there are some places that are milder. Devil's Lake is at 54 degrees. So it's one of those mornings, heater to start and then heading home, rolling down those windows today with some warmer air on the way with this system. Now we can't rule out a sprinkle or two underneath any clouds that pass by. The better bet for a shower will be up in northwestern Minnesota, and that's this area here where we're going to keep an eye on near the Canadian border for today, even into this evening that could happen. Here's a look at your planner for Fargo today. Warming up, getting back into the 70s, but keep in mind it's going to be a windy one with off and on mostly sunny skies and then more clouds rolling through. And again, just a quick look at those chances for rain up in the northeast and that wind increasing into the afternoon in your planner here. So be ready for that. And we've got at least warm temperatures lasting through the week this week.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa. It's now 6 minutes before 7. Fargo Public School students are facing yet another change, and it's probably not what families were hoping for. After 2 weeks of distance learning, middle and high school students will go back to hybrid learning on October 19th under a new hybrid model where days will alternate. Elementary students, however, will move to in-person instruction 4 days a week starting October 26th. The Fargo School Superintendent says the task force considers county data, statistics within the schools, and guidance from health officials.
But there are no set parameters or thresholds to determine exactly what happens. It is at the discretion of the Coronavirus Task Force Committee. And as families scramble to adjust to the changes, yet again, even more changes are expected soon.
Last week, there was a significant change from the governor's office in the quarantine requirements, and that significantly impact and change the way that we're able to operate schools. So obviously that's going to lead to a potential decision change as well, because that made a big impact for us as a committee.
For more insight into what the conversations have been surrounding these decisions at the district's task force committee meetings, you can find them online.
Fargo's new police chief is now on the clock. 54-year-old David Zabolski was sworn in last night during the city commission meeting. He takes over for David Todd, who retired this past summer.
Zabolski says as he enters the department, reevaluation is going to be a critical first step, starting with one-on-one meetings with staff to address any issues and listen to any new ideas. Bemidji, Minnesota police want your help finding a missing teenager. 14-year-old Marley Hedberg was last seen at her home last Friday. Her picture's up on your TV right now. You can take a look. Police say it appears she left the area on her own.
They think she may be in the Cass Lake, Minnesota area. Now contact Bemidji PD if you have any information about her.
Police have a message for people searching on their own for a missing man from Fargo. They say to be mindful of trespassing laws. 80-year-old Robert McKinnon walked away from Mapleview Memory Care in South Fargo Thursday night and has not been seen or heard from since. Police say they are not organizing a public citywide search because there's no definitive information on which direction he went. But some people have gone out on their own to check the area around Mapleview.
Police are asking people to check their properties, including garages, sheds, vehicles, campers, and outbuildings, and to check personal security cameras or doorbell cameras to see if Mr. McKinnon shows up in those videos. If you see him, you should call 911 right away. Texas Rangers have now charged a Wolf City police officer with murder following a deadly shooting Saturday night. Officials say Sean Lucas responded to a disturbance and then made contact with 31-year-old Jonathan Price. The Texas Department of Public Safety says Price resisted the officer in a non-threatening way and then tried to walk away.
Lucas used his taser, then shot his service weapon at Price, who later died at the hospital. Family members say Price was trying to break up a domestic disagreement and that he would not have escalated the situation with police. A Minnesota state senator is apologizing for drinking and driving. Republican John Jasinski of Fargo was arrested Saturday in Rice County.
His blood alcohol level was over the legal limit for driving of .08. Now Jasinski is the assistant majority leader and the vice chairman of the Transportation Finance and Policy Committee. He is up for re-election next month.
People are complaining about an uptick in stolen or damaged political signs. In Moorhead, someone took signs supporting presidential candidate Joe Biden at a home at 8th Avenue and 4th Street South.
Same thing in Horace across the river, where a woman took to next door to report a political sign was destroyed on the back of her travel trailer. Police say these signs are personal property. If stolen or vandalized, that person could face criminal charges.
It shouldn't be a misdemeanor, it should be a felony. This is our property. You shouldn't go on other people's property unless you ask permission.
The law says a person has the right to put up a sign as long as it's not threatening to anyone. And we want to make sure you heard about this. Elton John, of course, is rescheduling his Fargo Dome concert. It's going to be a while. The new date for the show is not until March 19th, 2022.
Yeah, not 2021, 2022, 2 years out. All tickets for that concert that was supposed to take place last June 13th will be honored. Now, if you're unable to attend on that new date, refunds will be available until October 23rd at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can find more information at valleynewslive.com. I have to say, I've heard from people who have been to an Elton John concert. They say he plays for a real long time, and you forget how many hits that man just has.
A lot. It's going to be a good show. Just be patient. 2 years away. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question. A recent survey says that the main things we feel guilty about throwing away are these.
The answer is greeting, birthday, or anniversary cards.
I'd agree with this. I feel like I need to keep them because I'm sentimental and I'm a hoarder. I'll just say it. But I do have a hard time because they're, especially from my kids.
Yeah, they're sweet. And one day you'll look back on it and it's fun to reread them.
Yeah, they
so
are.
don't feel bad about that. But the Today Show on CBS This Morning, it's just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. We continue to cover that breaking news down in Wahpeton, a beet plant on fire. We'll have more on the Fargo CW right after this.